Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with Robert Geronimo. How you doing, Rob? Haven't seen you in a
Greetings,
while.
travelers. Good to see you, John. How's it going, brother?
Good.
Like that intro. That was
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah. Well, what Geeks Do Network? He got sick and tired of me having that countdown, so he did that.
Enough's enough of the countdown. Give me some personality, John.
Yeah, that was fun. I love it. I love it. Somebody else made me. Oh, speak of the devil. Here's
Oh, wow, there.
what Geeks.
Look at
Yeah, I
that.
was just giving you credit for making my intro.
Awesome
Somebody
job.
else made an intro for me, and it was just like me, like real slow. And I'm like, there's too much me. What Geeks did, it's not, the least amount of me in it is better,
Oh, no. I disagree.
So, there we go, right away. Love Blood Realm. So let's talk
Oh,
about Blood Realm first before we do
thank you.
anything else. So
Sure.
let's. I got to establish my creds. Here's some reason
Oh.
I couldn't find this copy. I
Mm.
missed it. I bought it. I reread Blood Realm, and I'm like,
Mhm.
wait a minute, because it it had different volumes. So I bought like
Yes.
couple of copies of issue 3, and I'm like, how is this cover different? So I finally got it. It was good
Right.
to see. I got to see, uh, what's his name, Targantus come out.
Oh, Targanis. Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Of course, the issue that I'm missing is an important issue.
I
Now I
know.
got all, and I probably have all of Blood Realm except the last 2 issues in triplicate. So
Oh,
I'm giving them away
wow.
to friends.
Oh,
You know,
cool. Yeah, thank you, John. Yeah,
yeah,
it was confusing largely due to the fact that Diamond, working through Diamond, they really liked always having the new number ones and doing the mini series. So now, we've been transitioning into fully now the numbering. So we could
right.
have some nice big numbers in a couple of years, God willing.
You could. So Diamond made you do that. That's just so goddamn typical. I don't know. Comic book fans, we are obsessive compulsive. We like. I want to see, like, Marvel and DC, like they ruined it. Like I'll never get to
Mhm.
see like a Hulk 1000, or you know what I mean, or Fantastic Four. It's and then
I hear you.
they did the worst possible thing. They brought back the legacy numbers on some issues and then canceled it. So
That is
yeah,
so
I'm
confusing.
cataloging my collection, and I'm like, I have a scanner. I scan the barcodes in, and it's so confusing to know if you have full runs these days.
Oh
So,
man, what a
yeah.
nightmare.
Anyway, I said, tell me about Blood Realm, and then I started talking.
That's all right. Yeah, so we're working on the next issues. It's going to be the next 4. And I got to tell you, John, I think you're really going to love this new one, especially our discussions with history, the classics.
Yeah,
This one is going to be crazy epic. It is the origin of Chiron Morval, how he rose to be from slave to commander to warrior of light. And also, we're going to be seeing Vorogoth controlled by the mages, looking as Rome would have, but under a magic power, right?
okay.
So, yeah, so that's the vibe. And I have to tell you, I've been having an absolute blast. I'm working with some great artists. I'm drawing as well, but there's certain things I was like, if I don't get other artists to help me out here, I'm never gonna get this done.
Are you a slow artist?
Yeah, I am. I am. I take my time. I mean, what I was
There's no
doing.
shame in that. There's no shame in that. Yeah,
No. Well, you know what? Don't forget, I'm writing it, I'm coloring it, I'm drawing it, I'm lettering it.
and you got a
So,
full-time job,
yeah.
and you
So
just
it's
got married too, didn't you?
yeah, I did
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah.
it's a little
And
busy.
you like to cook, right? And
I like it. See, he knows me well, John. See,
the last time you were on, we were talking about a pasta fazool and everything.
that's good stuff. I like to make my pasta fazool. Well, New Yorker to New Yorker, you get
Yeah.
it. So I can't wait. I can't wait. We still have to hit our goal. We have 18 days left. We're only 2,000, I think, 700, 2,800 away. So, I believe we'll hit it relatively soon. So, if you guys have not back, check out the campaign in the description and in the chat there.
Oh yes, let me throw. I put the link in the
Oh,
chat.
awesome.
Do you want to share your screen? Show the
Oh,
camera?
sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm here to help.
Oh,
But
hey, Sark, what's going on, my man? Good to see you.
yeah, so
Oh man.
it's no. no secret, I'm a alternative fanboy. You know, I like all the alternative comics. You know,
Awesome.
like I said, just proof for anybody who's not familiar with Blood Realm. Can you see that $1.50? But it's now $1.99, and you can't really complain. It's still the
No,
cheapest. You know,
no.
I should say inexpensive, not cheap. You know, there is a
Right.
difference.
Well, I like that better. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Inexpensive. There you go. So this
And it's
is.
funny because
Oh, go
you know,
ahead.
I have a comic coming out on the 26th, and I asked Pete. I was like, I'd really like to get your printer. It's like a secret, you know. It's like a
Yeah.
vault in Blood Realm. He will not open it, you know.
No. Yeah. It's too precious, and
Yeah.
I understand. It's
I said, Pete, I'm not your competition, man. I'm no.
no. It's crazy because he has given it out to so many people, and what happened was because the working relationships with those other people were so bad, they didn't want to work with any comics anymore. So that's unfortunately, this is why we can't have nice things.
We can't have nice thing. So here's your campaign over here. This
Yes.
is
Oh,
Blood Realm.
17, not 18. Oh, God. Yeah. 17 days left. Blood Realm Dawn of the Wolf, folks. This is it. This is it. I have great image by Christian Rossi. Whew, man,
Yeah, I
he
was gonna
just.
say that's yeah. Christian Rossi. He did a few issues of King Cryptid also.
Yes, yes, he
Good
did.
artist.
Oh, he's wonderful. Wonderful. And we have the Blood Realm vinyl, which I have to tell you,
Yeah,
they
this is
look.
what I wanted to talk about. This is why I wanted you to pull this up. You got to talk about this.
Okay, I have it on the other side. I got to grab it.
I
So,
watched your video of them pressing it. It's very satisfying to watch.
oh my goodness, I watched that video so many times. I don't know. There's something so hypnotic about it.
Okay, so it's 225, but still the best deal for a comic book.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
You know,
Well, these are 30, and these are 32 pages.
right? These are full page floppy comic books on glorious newsprint. Just to compare, I'm making my own comic, and you know, I sunk a lot of my own money into it, and the cover price is $10, and that's really as low as I could go. But
Mm,
at the same time, I mean, you could go to the sky's the limit, but I don't think it's fair to charge that much. So
right,
I was adamant about making my comic book affordable. I mean, I can't do whatever Voodoo Magic Pete's doing over here, making his comics 225.
right.
You know, I just can't go in the poorhouse to it. But I applaud you for guys for doing this. I think it's outstanding. I wish
Oh,
I knew
thank
the
you.
secret, but a comic book should be affordable. So that is what attracted me to Alterna. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw these comics for $1.50, and I'm like, I'll
Sure.
buy everything. Why not?
Yeah, you could try it. It's like you don't feel so guilty. You know what I mean?
Right?
Saying, yeah, I'll try the whole catalog. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a big factor.
So wait, so you are I just realized something. You are the highest numbered alternate comic now.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, I
I
don't think
believe
Dan's
so. Or is it?
not
Well, I
King
don't know
Cryptid.
if it came out on a Wednesday.
Oh, it came out on Wednesdays up to 20. Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna have to beat that one.
Yeah.
The new one to beat, John. I will have to do
Yeah.
it. So, yeah,
So tell
Christian.
me about the record. Who
Oh,
wrote the music?
sure. Oh, so the record, so the music. Let me get it
Oh,
right here.
yeah.
First off,
Look at
so
this.
we
Look
have Christian Rossi here. We have a Coliseum type arena. So of course, I feel like you'll like that, John. Right? We got to
yeah.
get the history there, and it just makes it feel like it's a lived-in universe. And I just can't wait for everyone to experience this. I'm pouring my heart and soul into this, and I really want to create an
Is that
experience
the
that's.
Leviathan?
No, but it's another creature that we saw. I don't know if you ended up getting issue 13 yet. This beast appeared in issue 13.
Okay.
It's called a sand fang. There you go, desert monster.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go, something looking like the Roman Forum here. You see that?
Look at that.
Oh, Christians just forget it.
Yeah, he's good.
Ooh, he's fired up too. He's just as passionate about the story as
He's
I
getting
am,
better.
which is
I got to say, he's getting better.
oh yeah, oh yeah. No,
Not that he was ever bad.
oh
There's
yeah.
nothing, but he's getting better.
Absolutely. And then here we have epic monster battles. So we even go to a point in the timeline where we see these massive prehistoric beasts that roamed and ruled the lands of Mordrin. And we see prehistoric human civilizations here, how they worship them. So we're going to go into that as well.
Yeah, if those of you who don't know that Blood Realms jumps from the far past to the present to the future.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's I would say a tale that spans the ages, right? And here we go. We got some exorcisms going on where the mages have to battle some demonic spirits here. So, of course, very relaxed reading, of course, John. And here's the vinyl. It's
Yeah, look at that
7 inches. Oh man, we only have 20 left. I think there's 20 left now. 15 remaining in the featured perk, and then there's only about, I would say, I think there's 5 left as an add-on, and that's it. That's the first pressing, and I co-wrote the lyrics to the Ode to the Iron Wolves, which you can hear on my YouTube channel, Geronimo Draws. It's this epic.
Throw that link in the private
Oh,
chat.
sure. Okay. Yeah. It's an epic chant that the Iron Wolves sing before going into battle. So it's something that's actually in the universe of the series, but
Cool.
now you get to hear it, So, and the rest of it is all orchestral, like very epic orchestral. We have monster themes for the old beasts.
Who composed that?
My buddy Steven. So my buddy Steve is a very talented musician. He's incredible.
Cool.
And oh yeah, he just crushed it. So a lot of exciting things on this campaign. We also have the collector box. I did the artwork for the album as well, right here. And 14 minutes of music. And we have the collector box, so you could put all your comics in the collector box there. And of course, I have sketch card commissions, which I've been doing on my YouTube
channel. It's funny because I'm an art artist, so sometimes you draw it, and then I'm like, why did he do that? He just ruined it. Oh, it's fixed. It looks great.
It's the suspense. It's the suspense. So yeah, guys, I'm slowly getting there. Well, not slowly, but 17 days left to get to that goal, and we got some good stuff here. And like I said, I'm here for the long run. I want to get Blood Realm to 100, God willing. So
that would be fun.
It would be amazing. I got an epic story in store for you guys, and I'm at this point where I just want to share it. I just want to share it all.
In case you couldn't tell people, it's like black, white, and red.
Yes.
That's a I don't know. There was a comic by Marvel. They did a Scarlet Witch series. I picked it up because it was the same writer, James Robinson, who did Starman, one of my favorite. And the covers were all black, white, and red. And it's so striking that I could look at the covers and look at this.
Yeah.
You can look at that poster behind you. You got that creep.
Yeah.
They're just so, I don't know. There's a word, and you're the art historian. There's a word that I can't recall.
Right. Yeah. It really pops, and it's very iconic. Thank you so much, What Geeks Do Network. Rob's passion is inspiring. Thank you. Well, you inspire me.
Rob's a great guy. You're one of my favorite people to come on the channel. I enjoy talking to you for a bunch of reasons. In case people couldn't tell, I don't act like it, but I have a history degree. I have a degree in Greco-Persian history.
How cool is that?
It doesn't come out because I'm working in the rain in construction, and it was a miserable day today in New York. But you are an art history teacher, right?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. So. Oh, I couldn't put the thing in the chat. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's because I
put it in the private chat, and then I'll bring it over. Yeah.
There you go. So if people want to hear the song, there it is.
So it's like a safeguard against, I guess, just anybody being able to put, bots or whatever.
Yeah. So we have interiors real quick before I go on. Keir Covington, Christian Ross, you just want to give him the shout out. Christian is doing all of the epicness that we have here in Vorogoth that's reminiscent of ancient Greece, ancient Rome, and Keir Covington is doing the prehistoric battles, and also he's going to be doing an unbelievable naval battle, because after my trip to Venice, learning about that empire, well, not quite an empire, but they call it a republic, but it was like an empire of the seas.
Right.
And wow, the naval battles that took place in those Venetian ships, I was just so inspired. And we have Juan Sanabria doing the little exorcist scene. So a lot of content, and these covers, in my opinion, just really just punch. They hit you, and he's going to go through a lot. Chiron's going to be going through some serious trials, if you want to become the warrior of light, you want to be the leader or the commander of men, you really have to show that you can rise out of the mud, and that's exactly what we're going to see with Chiron. So
Chiron is the breakout character in your
in the series. Yeah. So
I'll address Genuine Comics, and then we got to talk about the elephant in the room. So Genuine Comics, hello John, Robert, greetings chat. Genuine Comics is Dave Brink. He has a comic called Perfect 10 that I absolutely fell in love with.
Oh, cool.
I love the comic. To me, and this, I think it's the best crowdfunded superhero comic I've ever read.
Wow.
And I hope that my comic book is a percentage as good as Perfect 10. You know, yours is fantasy, so I could say his.
Oh, sure, yeah.
This is the best superhero.
Of course.
That's and now we got to talk about the elephant room. So the Patriarch is going head to head with Chiron Morville.
Oh, right. I didn't even realize that was your character. So you're making a comic book as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Iron Age Icons, Adam Miller has a trading card set, and he made 40 cards. And I don't know the inside baseball, and I don't want to know that. But one of the characters had to be dropped for a miscommunication. It was fixed amicably, so they need a replacement. So a bunch of people threw their characters in the ring, and I think there's 4 left, and 2 of those are right here. We got Chiron Morville, and we got my character, the Patriarch. So
nice.
I Adam is a great guy. I think his project is important. I think it's 40 great cards with 40 great characters by independents. None of us are Marvel, none of us are DC, none of us are, and we're all making, because that has been a criticism, like, oh, there's no good characters over here in the crowd. Not everybody, absolutely wrong. And I don't even mind if I lose, because they are great characters.
Sure.
And, Horace H. Hoover was up there. He got bumped out at the last minute. I love that character. It's just so much good stuff. So there's 4 characters. Geez, now I'm gonna be mad because I can't remember the 4th. But there's Siamese, there's Chiron Morville, there's the Patriarch, which is my character, and I'm embarrassed to admit I don't know the 4th character's name. And if you backed Adam's project, Iron Age Icons,
you could vote, right? That's how it works.
You could vote. Yeah. So yeah, he's wisely making it so it's not just a popularity contest of whatever. So if you back the project, you got some skin in the game, and you'll control. And I keep telling them, make it 100 cards. Make it 100 cards. There's room for 100 characters. Oh, and speaking of good comics, Shadowpunk has another great. Yeah, another great comic. The only way I could describe it is it's like a I compare it to like a Frank Miller comic. The art was outstanding. I can't wait.
Wow.
And I'm making you blush. Well, you earned it.
Good
and again, Dave Brink, I reached out. I needed a little bit of help, and he helped me. So I know there's been some darkness in the comic book field the past couple of days, but
just the past couple of days.
I know.
I'm pretty sure there's always been.
But I have to say, for me, maybe I've been accused of being Pollyanna, but everybody's been nice, helpful, and
Polly what?
A Pollyanna, the girl goes around seeing everything is beautiful.
I didn't
Pollyanna,
know that.
everything. You don't know Pollyanna?
No. Oh my God. Yeah, now.
Yeah, she's. There's always that one person that's always like, everything's great, everything's wonderful, everything. Meanwhile, whatever sickness and disease going on. That's Pollyanna.
Oh, I see.
But you know what? We it's a decision to be happy. It's a decision to be positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm pontificating because today was miserable, and I needed like 19 cups of coffee to get me through the freezing outside weather. So
yeah, it's cold. I know. I was commuting there myself. Brutal today.
So you vote in it, and if my character loses we should virtually arm wrestle. But if my character loses to a Chiron Morville, I'm not going to be upset. It's fun. It's a fun, important side project not side project. Like, it bolsters up this independent scene. How cool is that?
Oh, it's great. It's great. And Shadowpunk, that good to see. He goes, Robert's got a fantastic character, Chiron. He knows him well because he did an unbelievable 3D sculpt of Chiron, which forget it. If we hit the first stretch goal, which is 12,000, because our main goal is 10. And if we hit the 12, it will unlock a perk where we'll be able to print some high quality resin sculptures of Chiron.
Yeah, Shadowpunk sent me a bunch of images of the stuff that he does, and I was like, "You did this? He's
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's really, really good. Like to the point where if my campaign is successful for maybe the second issue, I would think about hiring Shadowpunk to do resin. How cool is that to
Oh
have
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, because
absolutely.
I'm a board gamer. I would love to have little resin figures,
Yeah, of
you know,
course, of
on my
course.
board game.
I know. Hey, Creators Outlet. He goes, "Hey, all nerds. Hey, Robert. Long time no talk. Great to see you. Wow.
Oh, okay. How you doing? Sorry, I didn't see the comment.
Oh,
And we
that's
got
all right.
Facebook user, which is really good because I've been trying to make these go on Facebook and it hasn't been working. And it's funny because now my family members are like, "Wow, you're chatting with people."
Yeah, family members. They're all
Yeah,
on Facebook. Yeah,
you know,
I don't
my
have a Facebook.
I've been doing this for 2 years, but now the Facebook people are starting to realize my family's all on
Oh,
Facebook.
giddy and happy for you. That's good. Hey,
And
Nicholas. Oh,
Nicholas,
thank
good to
you.
see you. You
Thank you
dig the
so
art style,
much.
yeah, yeah. So this is your original concept that you created.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
It's been working at it. My goodness. What is it? 6 years now? Um, yeah,
yeah.
debuted with Pete. It was actually the first inception. Uh, well, yeah, it was part of my master's thesis when I was a student at FIT, and it was just called Kingdom of Blood, and then it really just started to grow from there and evolve, and then become what it is now with Pete and Blood Realm, and that's just been going straight ever since with it. It's pretty crazy.
Okay. So how is what do you mean a thesis? Like how do you do?
Oh, so I was a graduate for an MFA program, and we had to come up with some type of project at the end of it. So all the 3 years of hard work had to result in some type of art project that showcases your skills. So I went from doing children's books material for like 2 years to that last year, really just being like, what am I doing? This isn't really me. I love monsters. I love big epic stories with men with swords and shields fighting the impossible. Why am I not doing that? So and there you go. And then I just started to lean into it, and then slowly it evolved and evolved and evolved. And here we are. And now we're on issue, well, hopefully once this is funded, this is gonna be issue 18.
Yeah, on your last campaign, I got the cloth map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. You
I
got some
love it.
cool, interesting perks on your campaigns.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Yeah, I really can't wait. So 17 days left, still plenty of time, but there's always that trepidation. You launch a campaign and you're always like, oh
oh,
boy,
tell
it's
me
just
about it. I'm starting to get
super.
nervous for my own.
You're like super, super excited. You're ready to go. And all of a sudden you hit that launch button, your finger's about to touch it. And then you're suddenly like, oh boy, this is real. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It get,
you can
gets
only fool
intense.
yourself for so long. It's
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Metatron's good to see us get a record. I agree. I agree. They're going to be really, really incredibly limited. I mean, whatever's available is available of the records, and that's it. Yeah. Hey, Praetor. Hello, Praetor.
yeah. That I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Can't wait. Can't
So
wait.
you said it was originally Kingdom of Blood.
Yeah, originally Kingdom of Blood, and then when I submitted to Alterna, Pete, and we were talking about the title, and I was open to changing whatever. I had no problem. I was really not totally attached to the title, and also Pete has just such great advice. So I was like, yeah, whatever you know. I mean, the comic book industry, you know your readers, and he was like, we were going back and forth until um, I think we went Blood this, Realm that, and then I don't know what happened. I remember. I think we went back and forth, and Blood Realm was in the mix, and we were both agreed, like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, because it
That's
is
the
it
one.
is a great title, Blood Realm.
Yeah, Blood Realm, and it's quick. Kingdom of Blood, too long. Blood Realm, Blood Realm.
And it pretty much it does exactly what a title's supposed to do. You open it up, it's not going to be
Yeah.
the hobbits and Shire.
Right.
Garden.
Exactly.
And the
Nice.
guys,
Oh,
I
thank you,
joke
Kirby.
around a lot with Rob when he's doing his art streams, but some of these monsters are terrifying. And there's one image. If I was smart enough, and
Uh-oh.
the three sisters.
Yes.
Forgive me, I'm forgetting the name of them, but
The Sisters of Silence.
the Sisters of Silence. Oh my
They
god,
creep
I
you
just
out.
found it to be so creepy
Yeah.
because there's one thing to have a big monstrous tentacle
Sure.
beast. But when they're
Right.
almost human, that scares me
Yeah.
more. Yeah,
I agree with you. I agree with you. There's something about humanoid features, like it's something you recognize, but then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, wait a minute, that's not totally human. It's like at first you register it, and all of a sudden your brain goes, that's not right. That's
yeah.
not right. And it's something eerier. It's much more eerie, in my opinion.
So I last time we were on, we were talking about this, and I was really shocked that you never played Dungeons and Dragons and role playing
No.
game.
Yeah,
You
no.
know, I thought by now, now you get resin minis of your characters and stuff like that. So when does the campaign start?
Yeah, I know for the I know well, for the board game, Blood Realm, the board game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I maybe one day, one
yeah.
day.
Well, you live close. You live an hour away. Come on down. We'll
I
we'll
know.
have a blood. We'll record a Blood Realm Dungeons and Dragons session.
That sounds cool. Hey, listen,
Yeah.
you supply the food though.
Oh yeah. Whenever I have a Dungeons and Dragons game, it's a pot of chili. It's just a standard. I've been doing it for
Ooh,
15 years. Pot of chili. The sides change, but the pot of chili is standard.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Especially must be really nice on like a winter day when it's cold and you're all like
You
you
know,
got your
again, we always
chili.
talk about food when you come on.
Yeah.
Last night, my wife came home from the supermarket pissed off, and she's like, "Everything's so expensive." She's like,
Yeah.
"I'm making a pot of sauce, and we're gonna, she made a pot of meat sauce, and she said this is gonna last us for the week." I was like, "No complaints from
God.
me, no
No.
complaints." We got different types of pastas and everything like that. So I don't know. It takes a long time for me to get sick of something. If you made,
Me,
I
me
made a pot of,
too.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. My
I'm the
father was the
same
same way.
way.
My father could eat his. If my father didn't have his favorite meal every night, he was mad. Like he could eat the same things over and over. But
I'm the
a
same
pot
way.
of chili, I'll eat that for a week. I made a pot of green chili stew 2 weeks ago. I ate that
Mhm.
every. You know,
Yeah, no, it's funny. I know people where they have it once or twice and they're like, "Oh, I can't have that again." I'm like,
yeah, I
"Well,
had cheeseburgers for lunch. It's like I'll have another cheeseburger. Cheeseburgers are delicious.
exactly, exactly." Maybe that was training myself when I was young. Sometimes having cereal. I want cereal for breakfast. I want cereal for lunch. I want
My father
cereal
used
for
to laugh at
dinner.
me because on cold days I would make Campbell soup for breakfast.
Oh, oh, wow, for
Yeah,
breakfast.
I was like, it's cold out. Why do I want cold cereal? So I'll have soup. And he thought I was the weirdest thing.
Oh, wow, look at all these
I've
people
been there
using you
for
for
really
your
many times.
chili.
It's gone good. Facebook user. Who is this? So this is somebody that I'm friends with. Is this Paul? This is my
His
buddy
name
Paul.
is wow. So his legal name is Facebook user. That's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. My friend Paul is
Hello, Paul.
he's been we met in college in the 90s, and we've been friends ever since. And he's the administrator to my role playing
Mm,
message board. Can you believe I still have a message board? Like
that's
the message boards
awesome.
went out the window 20 years ago. I still got one. And Paul's character will make a cameo appearance in issue 2 of Heroic Tales.
Wow, keep it alive.
Yeah, breakfast burritos. So Paul, is this you? Are you posting under different names? Because now I'm curious.
He's
Because there's only 4 people who who had my chili who talk about role playing games. Now
it says
I'm
the
being
Facebook
stalked.
user is not me. Clearly, you have the Riddler here. He's giving you hints. Breakfast burritos. We
Oh,
must solve this.
it's probably Jimmy. Yeah. I got distracted by. Okay. Milton is his character's secret identity, so it's Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I my friend Mike has a active campaign on Kickstarter right now. Who he made? I got distracted by all this Facebook stuff because it didn't work for so long, and now all of a sudden it's working. But my friend Mike, who I literally was born next door to, he's making a
Right.
comic based on a superhero campaign called Marshall Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody go to Kickstarter, look at Thunder Zone, get the comic Marshall
Mm.
Strong. It's officially, unofficially part of the Heroic Tales world because he didn't tell me he was launching. So
Oh.
I didn't read the comic. What if it blows up the universe in that comic? I can't say it's part of my world and then find out the world got blown up. So here we got Creators Outlet over here. Robert, when are we getting a hardcover omnibus of Blood? Good question.
Oh, I would love to do one of those, but I have to say, if we get to 100, we won't be able to fit it in one big omnibus. I'm thinking maybe part one and two, like two big volumes, I think. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, definitely when the series ends, I have an ending. That's without a doubt. I have been saying that. I know exactly how this thing's going to end. Nothing has changed the way it's ending. Um, in fact, the ending has helped because things have evolved along the way, but knowing how it's going to end really now as I do these stories kind of makes that ending really sweeter, you know what I mean, and much more rewarding.
So, let's just say that the comic picks up steam and gets more and more popular with each issue.
Mhm.
Is it a definite ending? Like I'm going to make up a number, 50 issues, and it ends no matter what. Or if it's really popular, you could populate with more stories and then
Oh
end
yeah.
it.
I
Okay.
could populate it with more stories, but it's not going to change the ending itself, but it doesn't have to end at 50.
I know. I was just making up a
You
number.
know.
I
No,
know.
I know what you mean. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
if I had a definitive number in my brain, you know.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but was originally your plan? It was black and white, and then
Yeah,
Pete
it was.
suggested the red.
Yeah, he was like, you got this red on the cover. He goes, why aren't you putting that in the book? That would be really pop. And I was like,
Oh,
huh,
yeah, it
yeah,
really
I
does.
guess he's right.
Yeah, it not only does it pop, but it's also unique. There's no other comic that
Yeah,
is
no,
colored like this, and you
yeah,
do the coloring, right?
I do the coloring. Yeah, I do the coloring. And for this one, I have for some of the ones that you saw on the campaign, I had Christian color his own pages,
Okay,
but I'm coloring the rest. Yeah.
so
Uh,
I have two questions, but let's ask what Geeks Do Network. I'm super excited for the King Cryptid Blood Realm crossover. You
Me
anticipated
too.
that was literally the next question I was going to ask.
Me too. I'm
So,
excited too.
so is Kara Morville going to come out of a portal and start running around through New Hampshire and killing campers or anything like that?
Killing campers. That could be frightening when you think about it, right? Here you are in the camp, and all of a sudden you see this knight with a flaming sword. I mean, he could be a
Yeah, that
slasher.
would. Yeah, that would get me scared in the middle of the night because
Yeah,
you're scared of anything when you're camping. You hear, oh,
sure.
is that a bear? Is that a
Yeah,
bear?
is that a bear? Is that a medieval knight with a flaming sword? uh, yeah, no, it's gonna be really cool. I really can't wait for it. It's gonna be really impactful, to see these two characters unite, and also just to see their interactions. Having all this history, particularly with Chiron in the series. He's been through so much, and the way I view it, and when we have them together, it's you can almost say Cryptid ends up being like, in a sense, like almost like a brother he never had, or the brother he always
Oh,
wanted.
I was gonna say, I'm something tells me I'm feeling bad. Poor Cryptid's gonna get hit in the face with a sword at least once because that's classic comic book misunderstanding. And
I mean, that's how things often start with misunderstandings. So we have to see what they would be like fighting each other. That would be pretty cool in the beginning, right?
yeah, classic.
Oh,
Spider-Man meets Nightcrawler, and of course they got to beat each other up.
right.
Realize they were manipulated by the Green Goblin.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Now, is this going to be in Blood Realm? Is this going to be in King Cryptid, or is this going to be like a separate miniseries?
It's a separate miniseries, so it's you can
Oh,
almost say that it's not essential to our plot lines, but it is canon. You know, and it's it's going to be really cool because we're going to have the single issues and then an option for a hardcover edition. I
oh,
mean,
cool.
excuse me, not hardcover, a trade paperback.
So, what do you have a title for this series?
I think it's just the Blood Realm. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That I have to talk
I
to
put you
Pete.
on
I
the
didn't
spot.
think.
I'm sorry.
I assume it's the King Cryptid meets Blood. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
like
saw
that.
a Cerebus cover promo image that was very blood. Oh wow,
What's Cerebus?
Cerebus is Dave Sims comic from the the 300 issue miniseries as he called it. Came out in the 80s. It's one of the very first independent comics.
Oh, cool. No, I don't know it.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying. Yes, Cerebus #1 was black and white and red. Yes, back in
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
1980. I think it was 1978, 79 that came out.
Oh,
And
wow.
the funny story about that is he self-published it, and then other people made counterfeit copies, and the
Oh,
only way to tell them apart is the counterfeit copies are better quality than his poorly made.
that's hilarious. Of course. Of course.
Yeah, and Cerebus, he made like these. He called them phone books, so they're like these big
Uh,
floppy phone book. So there you go. Those sold really well because those back issues are hard to find. Uh,
Everyone's yelling at me. Everyone gets mad when I don't know all these references.
you
I'm
know,
out of the loop big time.
no, just you're young, and
Yeah.
people like, I'm sorry, I don't know. That's like, dude. First off, I'm a crazy person. Second off, I'm older than most of the people I talk about. So I know all this. And third off, Cerebus had his first in-store. Dave Sim rather had his first in-store appearance in my local comic book store. And
Whoa.
if you go to Dave Sim Speaks in December of this year, he put up old photos, and there's like 12-year-old me getting an autographed
Get
picture of
out of
Cerebus.
here.
I didn't care. I just get, you know what I mean? And it's funny because if you read those Cerebus, it's like at that time Church and State was coming out, and it's about a guy talking politics, and signing letters and decrees. It's like,
Wow.
I couldn't have been less interested, but I'm like, little chubby me in a flannel shirt getting a
Can you
Cerebus.
sign my comic? There you go. Wow. That's
So,
really cool.
so I had a second question, and now it's on mine. I'm super excited for the King Cryptid Blood Realm crossover. So who's writing that?
So he's writing the first part. I'm writing the second part.
Oh, so 2 issues?
Yes. Two
Cool.
big issues. They're like two
So
giants.
he being Pete Samedi, for those of you who don't know.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Pete
Yes.
Samedi writes King Cryptid, and then he has
He's
like
the
a stable
publisher,
of like
too.
3 or 4 different artists, so that he could.
Oh, yeah, for his series. Yeah, for
Yeah.
King Cryptid.
And I like how he has like different stories. He gets that same artist back to tell those stories, and then the stories with the children, he has more of a cartoony style.
It fits the aesthetic and the theme.
Yeah, I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful.
And
just
it's
going to
keeping
get better
King
and
Cryptid
better.
coming out like on par with a regular. When I say regular, I mean mainstream comic.
Sure.
Oh, the other question I wanted to ask. So now you're kind of like a boss now. You got like 3 artists under you, and you're directing their art. Because I have a couple of artists work with me for my comic, and
okay, show
one
no
of the things
mercy.
I'm very aware of, and I'm trying not to do is be a jerky boss,
Mm.
And I keep saying this is our project, we're doing great, and a few times when I was like, oh, I guess I didn't describe that. Would this be a pain in the neck to change it? And then they go, no, because I forget they do it digitally, and they just like, whoop, it's
Right.
gone. So I'm thinking they have to throw away this big.
No, definitely not.
So how is it now when you see the artwork? Are you ever like, that's not what I wanted, or this?
Oh, yeah, it happens. It happens. I'm trying to give my vision, try to relate it to them as succinct as possible, and not to be so confusing sometimes, because this is fantasy and we're dealing with some pretty heavy, weighty themes. Because hey, oh, get the page right, or you'll be sleeping with the fishes, right?
Well, now you got a lot of like monsters, just horrific monsters. How do you?
Yeah.
Does he have free reign to design the monsters, or do you give him?
Sometimes, unless it's something that I had already designed, it needs to be the same as we saw. Or sometimes there's a very specific design I have for the monster, and that needs to be apparent and clear.
And I'm gonna tell me, I forgot you're an artist. You could just send them a picture of the monster.
Yeah. So sometimes, but if
I'm
really,
I'm just a writer, I do like. I'm not even. Oh, I can't show that picture. That's a spoiler. But I'll do like the worst possible drawings and send it to Renzo.
Right. No, it's and sometimes, don't get me wrong, there's some things where I'm like, all right, listen, Christian, I want you to have some fun. This is what this guy looks like, but it's not definite because I want you to have some fun. So go for it. Same with Kier, right? When he's doing, like, one thing for sure, I told him, I said, listen, I want a 4-armed ape. I want a 4-armed ape for the old beast fight, all the big monsters. So that I knew. Then I sent a bunch of references for the other creature. This other one, he's kind of like this, a little bit different, no fur. And then he came up with that design. I was like, perfect, we'll keep that. But I knew I wanted a 4-armed ape with fangs.
Yeah, that's
just nice and pulpy. Something about 4-armed apes.
Yeah, like you said, pulpy. That sounds like something out of like a Tarzan or Doc Savage or something.
There you go, right? Exactly. I love the pulps. Love them so much.
So that was my next question. I never read the pulps, believe it or not.
Oh,
I'm a
well,
comic book kid, so I've been going out of my way. I just picked up Doc Savage books,
oh,
and
nice.
for like $1 each on eBay, and they're
Oh,
really,
that's
considering
amazing.
their age, these are like first prints. I'm a book snob too. I got to get like it's close to the first printing of books and stuff.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm excited to read those. And again, I just picked up this book.
Virgil, the power of the coming race. Oh,
Yeah, I read
cool.
about this in
Oh,
a Hellboy
Virl, really?
magazine. In a Hellboy comic, they
Oh.
refer to superpowers as Vril from this book. And then I remember Roy Thomas when he had a comic called the Young All Stars. He
Mm.
referenced that book. The premise of this book is some rich guy's father's just like, you got to get a job, and this
Mm.
is like, like the 1920s, so pulp time, maybe even earlier. And he falls into a mine shaft. He finds like a race of beings that like have they discovered. I'm not through with the book, but they discovered like mental powers and superpowers and stuff.
Oh, wow,
And
that's
the
neat.
thing is, the author is unknown. It's supposed to be like, it's like, how Lovecraft kind of like pretended that his stuff was real,
Sure.
and
What,
like
he
Robert Chambers.
pretended?
And Robert Chambers pretended like the King in Yellow is a real stuff,
Right, right.
So that's the premise of this book. It, like all the names were removed to protect the innocent, and it's supposed to be like a document of this guy's actual journey. So I love that kind of stuff. So,
That's great.
so I'm moving towards the pulps. As I finish reading all of the new comics, I'm finding myself going backwards in time.
That's what happens because you want to see what they're derivative of. You know what I mean? What inspired them, and you see it really comes down to the pulps. That's the heart of it all.
Yep. And speaking of all, you being a history guy too, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I forget what this is like your third or fourth time on my channel, and we always end up talking about food, and we always end up talking about history. So we talked about food already.
Yeah, we got what? We got about 15 minutes left, so let's wrap it up with history.
Yeah. So what
I'm
do
down.
what do you teach? We'll start with that.
I teach art history,
Right.
and
I'm just letting the audience know.
oh, okay, yeah, and I generally cover. I like doing the 10-10 class, which is the intro. It's the survey course, which begins with prehistoric and kind of ends with the end of World War II. It's just
Oh, okay.
the amount of history. It's hard to you
Hey,
can't.
that's a lot of art to cover. Jeez.
Oh, it's insane amount, insane amount. But I really love it. I really love it. So with Blood Realm, it's almost selfish because I teach this history, and then what happens is I get so pumped up. I get brand new ideas for my story every time because it's just like this well of content where I'm like, man, I could fit that into this. I could fit that into that. So yeah, I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. Like this today, I just wrapped up talking about Michelangelo's Sistine ceiling, and then I come home and I'm just like, man, I have no excuse to say I'm too tired to work on something because that guy was painting that ceiling, honing his craft, greatest hit after greatest hit. He does the Pietà, the David, the Sistine ceiling. I'm like, I have no excuse to say
I
I'm
know.
tired.
I know. If I work all day and then go to the post office, I'm like, man, I did so much. I I went to the
Uh,
post office. What? Leave me alone.
I went to the post office, you nut. You can't ask me to go get milk.
Yeah,
It's true.
I'm reworking on the, now that you're working with artists, do you send them a full script? Do you send them like the
I
Marvel
send them
method?
a full, so I don't do a full script. I do the Marvel method, kind of like the method that Stan and Jack had. I give them a full synopsis of what's going to take place in each page, and it's their job to sequentially figure that out.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I wrote a full script because I'm an amateur. I started, so
You can if you, there's
I
nothing
didn't
wrong
want
with
to
that.
have any arguments over so I broke down the panels. I described every panel, not like Alan Moore, but I gave.
Yeah, you don't need to.
And then Renzo said he liked that Renzo Rodriguez, my artist, for those of you who came in here just to see Robert. I sent him as much description for each panel that I could, but of course he's an artist and he sees things differently than me,
Sure.
writer. Until I get something, until I sell a comic book, I'm writer.
Right.
But so sometimes like a 5-panel page will come back as a 7-panel page. So yesterday I was like, I'm going to start rewriting to fit what Renzo drew, and everything he did I totally agree with. The guy's a phenomenal artist.
Right.
And then I went over the first page and I'm like, I'm done. And then the funny that you said that Michelangelo, I literally was laying in bed and somebody posted all of Michelangelo's works, and I was like, this guy was doing this. By the time he was 24, he had like basically his greatest hits done already.
Yeah.
And I got halfway through one page of a comic book rewrite, and
I'm exhausted.
and
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness, it's crazy. It really is. It really is. But yeah, no, history is really important and just fuels my inspiration. It really
So
does.
obviously you talked about Rome a lot in
Oh, last time we talked, yeah.
yeah. Well, even today you were showing the Colosseum, and then you were showing
Yes, yeah.
those layouts. But any other ancient civilizations make it into your book? Like does Egypt or the Celts or the
Sure. Oh
Mayans?
yeah, yeah. Definitely. We definitely have medieval civilization. So it's funny. We see different types of eras of Europe in a way you could say, because all right. So yes, the mages are more of that ancient time, but we'll also see some stuff from like I would say Mesopotamia, Syrian, kingdoms in terms of the lion hunt and all that. That was a famous thing that the Assyrian king needed to do to show that he was strong, was to slay basically a lion that's been caged and then released. It was to represent his power, and the lion was considered this beast that represented chaos. So if he could slay the lion, he can control chaos from rising up within their kingdom and their empire. So it's all this symbolic stuff that I'm like, man, that's getting in Blood Realm. That's going in there. Okay, that's gonna make it in there.
I'm glad
And
because
huh?
Sumerian. I'm kind of fascinated with that lately. I don't know what it is, but I've been reading Sumerian mythology.
Oh, because it's the old civilizations, the oldest.
Yeah, one of the oldest.
Doesn't seem real, to be honest with you.
I know it.
That's what's so crazy.
I you must have seen what is this comment? Give me your collection, John. You got to fight me. You got to fight me for it, Master Swag.
You gotta fight me for it.
You must have seen Time Bandits, right?
No,
Oh, you've never seen Time Bandits?
I
Oh,
know. I'm
so
sorry. Everyone said
long
I
story
do
short,
this all the time, so I
they
apologize.
go to Mycenaean Greece times.
Oh,
Not the classical Greek times like that we always see
yeah,
or in
sure.
our history books. But the Mycenaean Greeks was lost. There was a dark age
Yes.
that nobody really knows what happened. And and Charlton, not Charlton Heston, Sean Connery plays I forget the name of the king, but the little kid, and it was just so alien and I'm like, this isn't Greece. I was a kid when I first saw it, and that movie kind of sparked. They also go to Robin Hood time stuff, but it was the Sean Connery scenes when they're in like the heroic times when they fight the Minotaur and stuff. That
Oh,
the
cool.
classical Greeks didn't really. They couldn't even read the language. The civilization went into such a drastic dark age that to them the fact that they could read and build statues and write, and that they must have been demigods.
Uh,
But I love that, and then through that I'm lifelong fascination with Greek mythology, Greek history, and I think from that movie and Greek and from Greek mythology, it started this lifelong nerddom stuff. So now I'm talking too much, but I was gonna say I could listen to you talk about history influencing your comics as I talk.
no, that's it. Go on. You weren't going on that long. No, I'll check out that movie. It sounds like it's something that's right up my alley.
Yeah, well, Monty Python time traveling Monty Python is basically it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
Don't touch it, it's evil. As my
What's
favorite,
in them?
me and my friends have been saying that. Anytime somebody goes, "What's this?" we yell, "Don't touch it! It's evil!" When you see the movie, you know what we're talking about.
Oh, you mean Seven? That one?
No, that's that. There's a line. There's a line in Time Bandits.
Oh. See, I was thinking
They
something
go, "What's in the
darker.
box?" and they open it, and the kid goes, "Don't touch it! It's evil."
Oh, okay. When I hear what's in the box, I think of the ending of that movie,
What's
Seven.
in the
So,
box?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to see Time Bandits.
I'll check it
I
out.
bought the map. It's hanging up. Your map, I have upstairs. I got to make a video. Damn, I promised to make this video but I have a whole way of maps.
Whoa,
I
no
got
way.
Superman from Lovecraft. I got Middle Earth. You know, uh, Blood Realm.
Yeah.
Renee's Fiendish map is going up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I got all of these fake maps that are going up, and I'm putting up blueprints
They're
in my.
real to me, John.
What's that?
You said they're fake. They're real to me.
Yeah, they're real when we dream. Yes. Yeah. Now everybody's return the map. Return what you have stolen. Everybody's saying yeah, everybody's saying the lines from the movie. The Lovecraft map. I'll show you. I'll make a video. I got to
Cool.
put up Renee's map, and then I'll make a video. Fiendish, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Renee, she has a wonderful comic. I cannot pronounce her last name, so you have the active campaign. Let me put this. Yeah, I can't stop talking. Too much coffee. It's your campaign is on Indiegogo. It's active right now, and you said you have 17 more days.
17 more days to hit that goal. So folks, if you like anything that I've been talking about, I mean, you can get the latest batch of comics for just $15. That's it.
And can you get all the back issues?
The back issue is available
Yeah.
in the back issue bundle. It's all there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I all kidding aside, when I find a comic that I like and I find a creator, I want to go out of my way to help them. I think this, quite frankly, promote each other. Why not?
sure.
So Blood Realm is a comic I fully endorse. I put my money where I got 3 copies of the whole freaking series. You know what I mean? So when friends come over and I bring it up, they don't know what I'm talking about. 2 friends, I'll just give them a stack of Blood Realm.
Nice.
And what's funny is I got a friend in Florida that we talk comics, and then one time we were just like frantically talking comics, through the text message,
Oh.
and we both do you get Blood Realm? It was just funny. Oh,
Really?
okay. So I just find it great that here we are separated by thousands of miles, and we were both excited about the same comic. So what is Blood Realm about? I've been neglectful in my duty in giving you an
No, not at all. Blood Realm is about a war where these races, these humanoid races, are all trying to vie for power of Vorgoth, which is the main city in the entire lands of Mordrin. That's what the fantasy world is about. And each miniseries is a different perspective of that war. So we'll see the humans' perspective. Then we'll see the Satrians, which is this goat warrior race, which lives south on the map. Then we'll see the mages, which are the ones who control Vorgoth. And then there's also another race. They're Cyclops clans. They live in the Frost Mountains. So we're going to be exploring more of them in this series as well. So that's what it is. They're all vying for power, and it goes through time. It's also heavy themes too, like the sins of the father passed on to the son. So things that we do in life trickles down to the following generations, and it's the power of, or I would say the temptation of power, right? And once you have a ruler, okay, great. So now he's in power, great. What happens after that? Is he going to let power come into him, and now he doesn't want to give it up like the ancient kings did, right? They want to keep that seat forever, and then sometimes kill their offspring or ensure that only their offspring get it, so nobody else gets it. So that's what we kind of explore in Blood Realm. So
yeah, it's
inspired by
it's inspired by history with the fantasy and I like it. Like, as far as I know so far, and I have every issue, there's no elves, dwarves, and hobbits. This is your own creation.
It's dark fantasy. I would say dark fantasy, if anything. It's dark fantasy, for sure. And right, these are my own created characters, like you said. Like, there's no elves or anything like that. And it's just been a blast. Really pouring all of my passions into this. Heavily influenced, this particular miniseries, by the Iliad. On that 8-hour plane to Italy. I read the Odyssey and the Iliad, and I was the whole Battle of Troy. I couldn't stop getting notes in my notebook. I was like, oh my God, this is just so incredible. Oh, he's got
this
something.
Series. It's by George O'Connor. As I spill comics all over the place, George O'Connor. He did a 12-issue series of Greek mythology. Each was a
Damn.
Greek god, and I was really upset when he was done. And then I
Mm.
was so happy to find now he's doing the Asgardians.
Odin.
Odin. Oh
Nice.
my god! Like this is right up your alley. This is
Oh,
right up your
sounds
alley.
like it.
Oh, and have you got Age of Bronze yet?
Ah, no, I have not.
Yeah.
You have been telling me about that. I
Eric
forget.
Schonauer. I think he's the same guy who did the Oz comics for Marvel. He does a series on the Trojan War, but he's doing it as pure history. So there's no mythology or anything. So there's no, like, they pray to the gods, but the gods don't show up. And then what I found interesting, that's where I found out about the whole, Mycenaean Greek time, that I didn't realize that it might as well be another civilization with this
Sure.
this long dark period where they think maybe it was. You're a history guy. Do you know anything about this? What caused the because there was like a dark age throughout the whole Mediterranean world. Not like we don't know what happened to the sea people. These civilizations.
Oh, yeah. You mean the ones that, right? Yeah, even like Atlantis. You're talking about too,
Atlantis was Plato's invention.
right? Oh, I wasn't sure. Okay.
We don't know. But the Mycenaean Greek civilization arose, and they made all of these monuments. They made the Greek mythology. This was supposed to be like the time of the Trojan War, and
Right.
then there was a dark period. Volcanic eruptions, invasions by the Phoenicians,
Yeah.
and to the classic Greeks that we all talk about, like the Pericles and all of these people that really exist. And people today still can't read the linear B script. We don't. It's only speculation and
It's incredible. It really is. I mean, and
I was wondering if maybe you knew. No,
well, I know the thing is that a lot of their stuff was lost due
right?
to earthquakes, severe
Yes,
earthquakes, and we're finding a lot of it now. So, so it kind of makes sense why this stuff would have been buried for centuries and people didn't have the exposure to it. But there were civilizations who were inspired by it in some way. But I mean, the Minoans and oh my goodness, they were making pipes under the
right.
ground. It's like their technology was so way ahead
Yeah,
of what we could possibly imagine.
and
It's
there's theories that that the Minoan civilization was Atlantis. I've read that there was an actual
ah
city, and there was a volcano called Thera that wiped out, like, I forget. I'm sure I'm getting the details wrong, but Minoa is a long rectangular island,
yeah.
or Crete rather. Crete, and this section got wiped out, and this section survived and thrived after this section. But that older section that got wiped out was the inspiration for Atlantis. They all
Sure.
of these things that. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I love speculating, and that's what's fun about fantasies. You can make it all up, and
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing about history that really also did that for me was that wow, we don't know everything. As much as we like to think we know everything, we don't, and there's so much mystery. Because I mean, how boring is it just to say, yeah, we figured it all out? When in reality, we didn't. We haven't figured out nearly most of it, to be honest with you.
now
So,
now I have a real serious question for you. Something that's been bothering. How do you feel about, like, this current trend of presentism, where we judge the past by the values of now?
oh, terrible.
I,
Terrible.
I knew you were going to say that before, but being that
Terrible.
you're a college professor, a history guy, it drives me nuts to
That's
see, like,
terrible.
yeah, we
Usually, though, um, don't kid yourself. Usually in history, when civilizations do that, it's because they want you to forget the past and the lessons of the past so you can follow their rules. So, personally, sometimes when I've seen the breadcrumbs reading history, studying it for so long, and I'm like, oh, I know where this stuff kind of goes. First I read it in a book. I didn't think I'd be living it. That's when it's weird. But
yeah,
that's usually how it goes, unfortunately.
yeah,
So
you know I see the parallels. Not to get political, I try to avoid politics when I talk. But right now, I see, like, we are starting the reign of terror era of the American experiment. If you remember the French Revolution, when
yeah, I
you know,
remember.
yeah,
Well, I wasn't there, but I
yeah,
have to teach that in 2 weeks.
I,
Oh
oh,
man,
oh yeah,
yeah,
I,
we cover
I
that.
I could still get up and give a lecture on the French Revolution. My teacher was so good. We talked about this too. That I had a teacher who taught history, a little old nun. God bless her.
Mm.
And it was just, okay, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Blah, 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 blah. Date,
All right.
fact, date, fact, date, fact, date, fact. And every kid was just. And then the next year, we had a new teacher. It was his first year teaching. He was this handsome guy. He looked like Sylvester Stallone. So all the girls thought he was dreamy. And he was always dressed impeccably. He had a suit,
Nice.
And I
I
remember
like
he
him.
would just come in and he would put your pens down, and he would just he goes, history is the greatest story in the world. And he had this wonderful deep voice, and he would just tell story after story after story. And then like Fridays, I think we took notes. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I could still remember his lectures, and I was like, this history is the greatest class in the world.
It is.
So
It
I had
is.
the example not to teach history like this, and then to teach history like that.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I have to say that's very similar to how I teach. I don't have notes. I just go. I just talk, and yeah, it's just I love it. I love it, and you hope that passion can kind of get other students to sit there and say, "Hey, I relate to this stuff. I've seen these things. Oh, this echoes. History echoes. And it's true. It really does. It rhymes and it repeats, and it echoes throughout history and to other civilizations, to our time. And if you study history, you tend to be wise, as to what maybe powers that be want to, instill in you, or into their civilization. You got to start to get wise to the tricks. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, they want people stupid and stuck on their phones all day.
And then I see people this trend of destroying art for the environment.
Oh my goodness, that's
all it makes me want to do is just pollute.
Well, yeah, it goes to show. Oh my god! You know what happens? That those people are looking for a cause because they've.
Well, the environment's not a bad cause.
No, I know.
You're going about it the wrong way. Stopping me from getting to work in the morning does not make me sympathetic. Blocking the traffic,
No.
And then destroying works of art. Like, dude,
terrible.
Go on a hunger strike, but that requires a commitment and self-sacrifice
and discipline. Yeah,
go and destroying something that somebody else created.
That's different. Easy. It's easier to do that.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, bye, Prater. Good. Thank you for commenting. So
take care.
We've been talking for an hour, and it's mostly me yabbering.
That's all right.
You teach art history, so your class must be so riveted, because I find it such a fascinating. Do you have any trouble making kids in the back just not paying attention? And
oh, it's always going to happen, especially I have 60 students a class.
Oh God.
You are always going to get students who just they made up their mind that this stuff is stupid and it's not going to influence me, and this isn't relatable because these people didn't have air conditioning. So you have kids who do that. They make up their minds and that's it. But then you get the ones who have that mind made up, and next thing you know, something will pull them and they'll lift their head up and they'll go, that's really cool. What is that? So you may not get them all, but you get most. That's the goal. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for creating Blood Realm. I read and reviewed issue 1 today, and I'm getting all 15 mint. Oh, awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much.
It's a good series. It's a lot of fun,
Oh, man, I really appreciate that. That's tremendous. Thank you for your support. Man, thank you.
Yeah, it is a fun series. So you teach art history. Do you have 2 subjects that you teach, or you stick just to art history?
I do comic history as well. Comic art history. So
wow,
it's been really
how
fun.
did you finagle them to give you a class about comics?
I tell you, what happened? They know my background, and I said I know this stuff, and I guarantee you, because at the end of the day, a college wants to make money. At the end of the day, it is a business. Is there going to be enough students to warrant them to keep the lights on in that classroom? And are they going to get more where it's a profit? I said, if you open a class on making comics, which I do an art making class on comics. And I said, are you going to do one on history too? Forget it. Now you're going to get all those kids from the comic class that are going to want to take the comic history class. And there we go. So we've been doing alternating 1 year comic history, one semester that. I love it. Like tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about the birth of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and Iron Man by Jack Kirby Stanley, the Marvel Revolution, and
Show
it's just
show
so
my Sunday
inspiring.
comic videos where I actually show the my copy of Fantastic Four #1. Go through it. That's what
You
I've been
have
trying.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
If you go through my past catalog, there's a Sunday comics. Every Sunday, I try to show at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I show key issues. So I started off with Fantastic Four. I went to X-Men
Wow.
#1. You know, the only key Marvels that I'm missing are the first Iron Man and the first Spider-Man. But I showed the first Thor. Last week I did a Love and Rockets #1. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. I did Cerebus '1, and this week I'm doing
Wow.
Tales. Tales.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I got a ridiculous collection. I'm insane. So, in a couple
Wow.
couple of years, I'll work my way up to Blood Realm #1 for Sunday comics. But I did Blood Realm for my regular showcases that I do during the week.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's really great. So yeah,
I,
it's really fun, and yeah, I just get constant inspiration from this stuff.
so does your class know that you make it a comic? Are you one of those
Yes.
professors that assign them? They have to buy your comic, and
No, no, no.
you know how the teacher
Uh,
wrote the textbook, and then everybody has to buy it.
that drove me crazy. I don't feel bad if I had to, because we're only talking $2. You know
Right?
what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, come on,
Yeah.
come
For
on.
those of you who don't believe me, if you came in late, look at that cover price there,
That's
$1.50.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah. So no, but I don't. But I recommend them sometimes if they inquire. Hey, I show them my original art. What is this from? And I say, well, you can get it here, and I point them to Alterna. Of course. So yeah, never
So,
never know. Get them hooked on comics if they never read one, or maybe want to get back into it. Who knows?
okay. Well, I guess last question, because we've been talking for over an hour, and here's the link to the active campaign where you can get all those comics. So again, I didn't know that this must have changed the last time, but I didn't know that you were teaching comic art and comic history.
Yes. Yeah.
And you get big turnouts. You said, are these kids? Because now everybody's reading manga. Are
Oh,
the
it's
kids
huge.
manga question?
Huge.
Not that there's anything wrong with manga. I just don't
No,
know.
no, no. It's
Yeah,
huge. But what was your
manga
question?
is comics. It's just a different flavor of comics.
Yeah. But was that your question? If they read it?
Yeah. Are they reading American Western style comics? Are they coming
Very
into your
few.
class? Yeah, that would.
Very few. Very few. They're more interested in the history of the characters that they see on the big screen.
Right.
That's their main introduction. I will get one. I have one student who is an active collector, and he gets a pull list, and he has been following. He's a diehard, even though he's not thoroughly enjoying what he's reading. He's still gonna pick up his certain heroes.
Yeah.
But most of them, unfortunately, they are aware of these characters from the movies. So they take the
Oh,
class like, oh, cool, and look, I hope they go and pick up the comics. One thing that's for sure is that they all want to seek out the old stuff. When I show them the old stuff with Kirby and all that, it's ironically that's what they want to read rather than the new stuff,
it's
which I
it's
think is the best way to go.
it's funny because whenever I see you know people on subways or buses, and they got like Marvel or DC paraphernalia, it's all old stuff.
Yep.
I don't see modern comic
No,
book artist T-shirts. You see a Kirby
no,
Captain America with the shield.
that's
You,
right.
you see a Jack Kirby Fantastic Four T-shirt with the logo. You see the
Hmm.
old Jose Garcia Lopez Wonder Woman with the
That's
last.
right. That's right. Because there's something about seeing it when it was created by the people who had well, not only the original creators. I think that's something we're craving too now, right? I think it's like the whole kind of fallout with Disney too, is that we want something that's from the creator's vision. And
Right.
now we've had years of people coming in, deconstructing this, deconstructing that, coming in with their perspective when they didn't even make the character,
Right. How dare you? Is the way
Right.
I
And
look
what
at it.
happened? Right. And what happens is it starts to feel, I don't know, it starts to feel ingenuous. It starts to feel inauthentic, you know. And now, I think that's what's happening. They're going back to the old stuff where it began,
Yeah.
and I don't
I
know.
look at this
That's
like
my hypothesis.
we see new people coming into comics and taking over these comics created by geniuses. Steve
Yeah. Right.
Ditko, Jack Kirby. And all these
Right.
guys. And then the name that I could think of was like Ta-Nehisi Coates. He came in and he started writing for Marvel, and he just tampered with it. And all I could think of is I'd never heard of this guy beforehand, and
Hmm.
he left. It's like
Yeah.
he came in and like ripped up the pages, threw
Yeah,
everything.
they're
But
not there to
and then at the time
stay.
he was like, "Oh, I'm a lifelong comic book. Where are you now?" That was 2015. Where are you now? That wasn't too long ago. I thought you always loved comics. No, you went back to the movies. This was just something you wanted to play with, in between movie projects.
Yes, that's it.
The tourists, as
That's
as
it.
I call them.
Yeah.
So we got Blood Realm, Dawn of the Wolf, active campaign right now. What happens if you hit 10,000?
So if we hit 10,000, we're funded and we can finish up making the rest of these issues.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so
Oh, okay.
yeah, I have to. We're so close. If we hit
Okay.
12, I'm gonna unlock the perk of the statue.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Shadowpunk makes such good.
I
He
know.
he's the same guy that made all the monsters from King Cryptid, right? Is he the same?
No, no, he didn't. He didn't. Someone else made
Those
them,
look
but
awesome too. And
they
I've
do.
seen Shadowpunk's work, and I definitely logged it in the back of my mind. If my comic does
Yeah,
well, contact Shadowpunk. He
yeah. So
makes great stuff.
yeah, so that's where we're at. So we have how many days do we have left? I forgot. We have 17 days left to get there. So that's it. Really
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. I cannot recommend this comic enough. I got every issue almost in triplicate, except for the last couple. I got the Blood Realm map. I'm sorry. I back so many comics I forgot. So I'm glad that I had you on today because I got to get that record. If I don't get that record, I'm going to be on eBay paying $100 for it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I know. It's only 25 for the record too.
Yeah, so I got to get that record. I got my turntable set up. I'm an old fogey that likes my vinyl.
There you
So
go.
this is great.
Oh, I like it. I like
Yeah,
it. Oh, I can't
I
wait.
used to do a segment Monday Music where I showed off my records, and I I took a couple of weeks off. I had hernia surgery, and I just stopped picking things up. Like I was picking up crates of records. So
Yeah.
I'll get back into it now.
Let me
But
I
anyway,
have it
I've
right
talked too much.
I have it right behind me. Let me show you before
Oh,
we
sure,
close.
yeah, I'd love to see it.
All right. Hold on one second.
I'll pontificate for a minute or two. So I want to thank everybody in the chat. Haldir, my moderator. Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of that. Uh, I my whole channel is based around comics that I like. I'm not going to host people that I got tricked into a few times of hosting people that I didn't know anything about. I did it, and then I was like, oh God. But Blood
Mm.
Realm is a solid comic. I have it again. I have it in triplicate. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That is awesome. That's for those of you who don't know. That's this crazy person's actual art right here. This
Yes,
Robert.
this crazy person.
Yeah, watch his draw streams when you really go off on art and talk about the inspirations of these monsters, and then he's
Nice and red.
yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, it's got to be. It's Blood Realm.
Exactly.
That would have been a
Blood
tactical error if you made it any other color.
Realm. Yeah, it's a beaut.
Yeah,
It's a
that
beaut.
is cool.
And it sounds spectacular.
Oh, and I'll throw up a link to my comic too. I keep forgetting to
cool.
promote myself. I'm very bad about. I get embarrassed. Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
self-promoting isn't it a little embarrassing sometimes?
Oh yeah, sometimes, but you know what? If you're not gonna do it, no one's gonna know about it.
Right. We have to be our own. Stan Lee is gone. We have to be our own
Yes.
Stan Lee, and I have to get over my embarrassment of
Exactly.
selling myself.
Have to do
And
it.
how dare never apologize. Never apologize. You know.
There it is.
I love that. What is the name of that monster up there?
This is Valgus the Devourer.
And I gotta ask, when is Marius the Engorged going to show up?
We have to get her in there at some point, man.
Yeah, the less you know about Marius the Engorged, the better you are.
She's a special girl.
And last question before we go is I was joking around about grave robbing and stuff like that, because and then you talked about an artist that had you said that he literally was grave robbing and he had bodies throughout his to study anatomy.
Oh, yeah,
and
he didn't grave rob. They gave him the bodies of executed criminals. That was
Right.
Jericho, and I'll put that here in the post just in case anyone wants to see.
Yeah,
He was French, so It doesn't look like Jericho, but that's how
Oh,
you say
that's
it in
why I
French.
couldn't find it. I was spelling it wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jericho.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
This art, it was a fascinating story. And again, that's why I enjoy watching your
Oh,
draw streams. And I apologize, I haven't been watching them in the past couple because I'm, you know,
it's all right.
I'm at the line. I gotta launch my comic. I've been doing last minute things. We're about 85% of my comic. The Raft of Medusa by Jared. Oh, I was about to say somebody in the chat. That's you. Yes,
Yeah.
you were telling me, and so I don't know. It's part of me wishes I had like time off. I'd sit in your class. I'd be that old guy in the back, taking the notes. I find
Yeah.
that fascinating.
I know Pete thinks I should put my lessons up online or something. I think I might do
Oh,
that.
that that would be cool. Or the letters page in the back, like inspirations for this, or little.
Yeah.
When I read Doom Patrol by Grant Morrison, he started putting like recommended reading, and
Hmm.
back in the '90s, right before I went to college, I was super pretentious. Man, I got all of those. That's why I got into like Kerouac and all of the beat poets and everything like that. So I
Yeah.
love that stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
For
cool.
little, yeah, like I'm not pretentious now. The Raft
Oh,
of
good.
Medusa was a Pogues cover. Wow,
Oh, was it really?
wow, that's funny.
Ah, interesting. Cool.
I always think that the average European just knows a little bit more about like culture and history than the average American. But
They've been through a lot.
yeah, well, it's their home world, yeah, and they're so close. You could just get into a car and drive to another country. We forget how big America is, and
Yes,
when I
that's
lived in
true.
Albuquerque, when I lived in Northern California, when I lived in South, they all had the same stores, they all had Burger Kings, they all had strip malls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I talk too much. So let's get your links in here. Blood Realm,
Yes.
Indiegogo. It's got 17 more days left. We got to get to that 10,000 stretch. I'm pledging tonight.
Oh,
I
thank you,
forgot all
John.
about it. I got to get that record. I got to get that record.
Thank
And then,
you
and then
so
I'll
much.
complete my collection of having three copies of each issue of Blood Realm. So when I do give them away to friends, they can have all 18 issues.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got to say, I have a alternate comics is so cheap.
I know.
I have a lot of the alternate comics in duplicate triplicates that I give away, and I bought lots of Baron Rats to give away to my
Oh,
friends
Baron
and kids.
Rat's great.
Yeah, perfect for kids. Alterna's doing something that a lot of companies are forgetting, that there's kids should be reading comics.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And the thing is too about even the comic I have is it's not even though it says mature, it's not this gratuitous violence or cursing. There's no cursing in it. It's just mature themes, if anything.
right.
There's violence, but it's mostly between monsters and creatures, but nothing that is like, oh my goodness gracious,
Yeah,
nothing
you
like
could,
that.
if your kids could sit through like a Harry Hassan, like Voyages of Sinbad kind of movie, you could read
Yeah.
Blood Realm.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Nice.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming. I have oh Jesus, I got 10 minutes. I'll be over at
Yeah,
RJ
you
on the
got it.
fourth page. Brian Bauer of Wolf and Bats. He's going to have a closeout, so I'll be over there. I could talk to you all night long. I just didn't realize how long I'm pontificating. I'm sorry.
It's all
But
good.
anything you want to say?
No, just thank you so much for your support, everybody. Back Blood Realm, and check out my YouTube channel, Geronimo Draws, where I do those sketch card draw streams that John was talking about. And thank you for watching.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody. But I'm going to get going. Thanks a lot. Bye
Take care,
bye.
everybody.